Okay, so you want to do a germination test and you don't have any kind of petri dishes or the whole kind of shebang that you need from doing the kind of test. You don't actually need anything special. You can actually do it with just household items. A bit about grow, that's going to be our cotton wool, a plate, our petri dish, and of course our seeds. Now I'm using these big runner bean seeds because I don't want to use kind of the teeny tiny ones that you need a magnifying glass to see. This is just because of the video, but the same applies with all seeds. Right, let's get started. Why is this germination test actually very important? It's to do with the fact that if you have a population of runner beans, let's just say I take a handful of seeds, I've been given those, or somebody sold them to me or whatever. Now I have, let's say, 25 seeds here, and if I grow these seeds to become my next generation of plants, and I save seeds again from these seeds in the next year, what's going to happen is that will be my starting population, all those seeds. Now about 20% of them probably won't germinate, and then a certain amount will be eaten by slugs, so I might end up with about that much plants. Now those plants are going to be my population. Now having said that, with beans it's not so important. You could take just one seed and carry on the genetic viability of that population with just maybe one seed. Maybe. It's better of course to use maybe 20 seeds or 5 or 10. Now if you're using brassica seeds, that population would never survive on one seed. They would just dwindle out in about 5-6 years, and you will have a population that is not worth saving anymore. The overall strength of the population is gone. So by actually doing a germination test, what you're doing is you're saying, okay, I have a certain amount of seed, it's a percentage of these seeds. So if I have 20 seeds here, that 20 seeds is going to be 100%. Now if I do a germination test to see how many of them germinate, if the germination rate goes below 70%, what's going to happen? That population is not strong enough anymore, because it's a kind of a rough guideline that tells you, well, how much viability and strength is in that seed still in there. So the viability and strength of seeds actually tend to go down over the years. So some seeds, for instance parsnip and I think onions as well, the viability with that population goes down within about a year already. So you actually have to sow parsnip seeds every year, again and again. There's no point actually buying seeds, keeping them for 3 years, trying to sow them. The viability will be 0, and that will reflect as well in the future generations. If you save seeds again and again, year after year, population will just dwindle away. And now if you have, let's say you have tomatoes, they last for 5 years, so you can do a germination test. Most actually will last 3 years to 5 years, depending on how you save them. I just quickly mention as well, if you save them in a kind of a dry, cool place, that's the way to go for them to last quite a long time. And the temperature has to be roughly the same all the time. So don't have many temperature variations, that also degrades the length the seed can actually last. Now, having said that, if you have a tomato seed that lasts 5 years or so, well, that seed, you can do a germination test every year, and as long as it stays over 70%, your entire population of seeds, because we're just going to do a kind of a mishmash of all these seeds, we mix them up really well, and we just take a sample. And if that sample stays above 70%, well, we're okay. We can actually give away those seeds. We can still just about sell them as well. And providing that we tell the people, well, in a year's time, it will be gone below 70%. So that's pretty much all there is to the know-how of why we actually do germination tests. It's just to safeguard that future populations of seeds will be strong and viable as well. Now, how to figure out the germination percentage? It's very simple. You could, for instance, do a thing where you count 100 seeds, and if 88 of them actually germinated, then of course you have an 88% of germination rate. But that's going to take us way too long, so what we are going to do is we're going to pick 50 seeds, so half of 100, and if we, out of that 50, if 44 let's say germinated, well again that's an 88% germination rate, because 44 and 44 is 88, and that's then 88%, very simple. Okay, so that's that. I'll just show you now quickly how to count them. Anybody can count, but there's fast ways of counting and of course there's slow ways of counting, and if you're doing a lot of these then you want to have a fast way of counting. And you place your seeds out there, and what you do is you just pick 5, and the reason you pick 5 is because first of all you use a little handy tool like that, and especially when you're using small seeds in a magnifying glass, then this thing is really handy. So you're doing 5 and 5, and the reason you're doing that is because you can actually see 5 very simply. Without actually counting them separately, you can actually see a grouping of 5. 5 makes 10, that's 1 done. And another 5, another 5, and that's another 10. And you get the idea. All you need to do then is have 5 groupings of 10 and you actually reach 50. Very simple. Now we'll just pretend I have 50 here. And the next step, again, very simple. Cotton wool now is a lot better than toilet paper, of course, but if you don't have cotton wool, you just place your seeds on some damp cotton wool or toilet paper, spread them out nicely as well. Try not to drop any of those seeds, because it's really important that you get this very exact. We're just doing an example here. Then what you do is you dunk it into some water, you rinse it out. You've done that as well with the one underneath it, and then you just place it on there like that. And just make sure that you cover all the seeds as well. Press it down a little bit so the seeds are actually in contact with the paper. And as said, cotton wool is way better, but this works as well. And then you just place it into a warm place. Now, the way to do that is, by the way, I'm going to put a chart at the end of the video that's going to tell you exactly the different temperatures as well, so that you know that as well for different vegetables. Now, the one more thing that I need to as well mention is that, for instance, carrots, all the kind of Umbelliferae family, the parsnips and carrots and so on, they can take up to a month. They're the only ones now that do that. They can take about a month to actually germinate, so don't discard them or think they're not working or whatever. If after a month and maybe a week nothing has happened, then you know you're in serious trouble then. But anyway, the other guys will take roughly a week, maybe 2 weeks, some even just 3 or 4 days. The more perfect the temperature is, the quicker the germination. So that's that. Now after about a week or however length of time it's going to be, you take after your heated area, you peel it back very gently, and now this is very important, there will be seeds stuck onto the upside as well. And then you just count them, and you count all of them that have germinated. Or sometimes it's easier just to count the ones that haven't germinated. And then you have actually the right percentage. You multiply it by 2 and you're pretty much, you kind of know then exactly what the actual overall percentage is of that population. You can be pretty assured. It's a great way to find out the strength and viability of your seeds. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. That was pretty much all the information I could fit into this video. I hope it wasn't too long, but I think it's important to tell everything that you can possibly tell about a subject. And you can then be rest assured that you know everything that you need to know. But the other thing as well is, if you're going to do kind of seed sharing on heirloomseedsaving.com, now do consider maybe going over there now, and if you have some seeds, do share them over there, because that's really a great way to keep this heirloom seed exchange going. I think it's a very important thing for all of us. Now, the other thing, make sure that you do this germination test before you actually share seeds. And it's not just, you know, the right thing to do by law, but it's also the right thing to do for all the people who are going to be benefiting from your seeds. You spent time growing those seeds, you spent time, you know, saving those seeds. Now just spend a little extra time and just check that they're actually a good viable source. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.